Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. In the last session, we wrapped up our exploration of the Hossberg wetlands. We completed a bunch of quests, most of our quests. We are down to just the final 4 now, including 1 main mission, 2 that we can't do yet, and an Emmerich companion quest. So that is where we will start today, and then, for the first time in what feels like forever, apart from that really quick Hossberg one that, you know, let's just go around and collect a few bits and tell the first warden to fuck off. It feels like we haven't done much main questing in weeks, so I'm glad that we have one coming up today, and it's with Morrigan's. That would be nice. But, yes, first of all, the Necropolis. So, let's head there, shall we? Yoink. Yoink. And now that we are playing on fun difficulty, we can bring Emmerich and Nev, and it doesn't matter that their skills don't combo together in any way, shape, or form, because everything just dies anyway, so that is not something I need to worry about anymore. Okay, he is all the way down here. We don't have that beacon discovered. We also don't have that beacon discovered, so I guess we just go via here and turn left. And run a whole long way. Out here, yeah? Yeah. Wait, was it to the right down here? Yeah, by the looks... Oh, no. No, never mind. Forward and then right. Says as he immediately takes the wrong path. Oh, hello.
Get ready.
I mean, I feel like we can just safely ignore these guys, right? Have I not been down here before? I feel like I have. How did I miss this? I'm sure I've looked over this edge. But we didn't get that, apparently? Didn't get that fast travel point? No, I mean, we've definitely been down here, so... Huh.
You don't burn the dead? Any of them?
Navarra is dedicated to preserving the deceased. I suppose the displays of the Grand Copper seem a bit exotic to you all.
Can't say I see it every day.
Oh, come on. Are they chasing me, or... Is it gonna realize that I'm not in combat? Or do I actually have to go all the way back and kill every single one of the enemies we just ran through? Because that was a lot of enemies.
Made it through that one.
We're good. Okay. Phew. Walking the graves. As Emmerich performs rituals to honor the dead of the Grand Necropolis, the senior necromancer opens up about his past. Definitely one of my favorites is old Emmerich.
Thank you again for coming. My duties include tending to these rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
That's the second time there's been an option like this. There's, like, options to progress normally, and then there's one where you're like, nah, you're just weird, dude. Solid lesson.
No one's gonna seize the day for you.
Just so. That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Tch. Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
It'd only be right.
Seems disrespectful to abandon something you built.
Precisely. No wonder there's been an uptick in hauntings.
Wait, what?
Let's continue.
Wait, what? No answer.
So what now?
We light candles in remembrance of the dead. Would you care to light the candle, Rook?
My pleasure.
Look at this. The last tomb of the Tannhausens. A very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon? I'm surprised there was enough to bury.
Feel like I recognize the name Tannhauser.
Do you know,
Have
I
they been
never
mentioned in a
expected
previous
that the
game?
door we found back in the Vault of the Beloved would lead here.
So the necropolis actually shuffles its rooms around?
From time to time. Very unlikely to happen while we're inside a chamber. Could you light the next candle?
Certainly.
Aha! One of my favorite flowers! A variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants.
Alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
Bet you'd love some of the books the Shadow Dragons liberated from a few magisters.
This way, Rook.
You were right about the gardens being peaceful.
The necropolis has its dangers, but these places are a refuge for the dead.
How many people are buried here anyway?
Excellent question. We rarely should take a new census.
You just don't know. So many that you don't know.
You'll need to light these candles as well. Open your hearts to the final day, companion of all the ages. I was pleasantly surprised by your respect for our undead tableau earlier, Rook. I'm beginning to think people outside Navarra find the necropolis a little unnerving.
They largely
Shadow Dragons are
do,
used
I
to
think.
weird architecture. More skulls here, though.
Hello, Dysentery
The
Whispers.
spirits gather. Only a few more candles. Follow me.
Following. I want a scene between Emmerich and Morrigan. I'm definitely going to bring Emmerich to our Morrigan mission. I don't know if they'll have much
look here.
interaction, but I feel like they'd get on quite well. Hey?
Hi? Should I say hi?
It's curious about you. We're also enjoying the gardens, but with one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Oh.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Damn. Sorry about your parents.
Belated condolences, if that's worth anything.
Always. We move on, as we must, but those long nights linger about the shadows.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. When I first arrived here, I was terrified.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me. Come, the next set of graves lies ahead.
He's very different, isn't he, from pretty much
Please,
any
light
other
the
Dragon
next
Age
candles,
companion.
if you would.
I'm trying to think of any companion that he even remotely is, like, similar to. Because there's definitely some where you can go like, yeah, this one from this game is pretty similar to this one from this previous game. or whatever. But Emmerich, there's not really any parallel to compare him to. He's very unique, and I really like him.
There's much to recommend about the rhythm of a ceremony. It eases our worst hours. As a boy, the Watcher's rituals were exactly what I needed to steady my days with purpose.
And some death magic?
Well, every young mage needs a speciality.
So true.
All this pageantry, this magnificent gloom and its rites, I ask you, Rook, what is it for?
It's gotta be the living, right?
Yes, exactly. This place is an abundance of history, of magic, of memories. The Watchers preserve it so the living may draw comfort from those who've gone before.
I wonder if he has anything different to say if you specialize in the death magic stuff, because isn't there a death magic specialization for mages?
You told Harding that Manfred used to be a wisp until you gave him a body?
Yes, he's taken so well to it. Haven't you, Manfred? Here are the last candles you'll need to light.
Clap. We did it.
Once you're ready, we'll need to ring the bell.
Ding dong. Okay, what does that do for us?
Let the rites be acknowledged. Our bonds seen and sealed. We honor the listening spirits.
Howdy.
Hail from the abyss.
We witness, good Watcher, faith kept in all our paths.
What was...
The necropolis hosts many spirits. We thank these guardians for their protection and friendship. We'll need to ring the bell once more to close out the departing ceremony.
You gonna say anything else? Nope. Cutscene.
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
Of course, like most people.
Wasn't everyone from time to time?
When I was younger, it happened more often than that. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying. It goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, in sunlit streets, a raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
Oh, poor dude.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a Watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of host would I be if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
This is another one that you don't want to click, I think. Well, I mean, you do if you want to play the role that way, but I think that's going to be... That is an aggravating thing for him. Trying to impress. I like it. No. Maybe in... Well, realistically, am I ever going to do a second playthrough? No. I never... basically never play any game twice, ever. Even my favourite games of all time, I have only played once. But in a hypothetical second playthrough, probably would go for him as probably my... Well, I mean, there's Harding as well. I do really like Harding. But I'm curious how this one would play out. Again, because it's like he's such a different companion from what we've had before. Anything for Manfred?
Well, if Manfred's excited, how can I refuse? Cheers, Manfred.
Is that the end of that quest? Yeah. That was a really good one. That was probably my favourite of the companion outings so far. Emmerich's ability cooldowns are reduced by 10%. Your other companion's cooldowns are reduced by 10 seconds when Emmerich's abilities defeat an enemy. Right. Which normally would be completely useless because you'd be saving them to use together as a combo, I guess. But now that they don't combo and I can just bring out him and Nev anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. While performing rites in the necropolis, Emmerich confessed that he's always been haunted by a fear of his own mortality. The rites brought him peace, however, and left him with an even greater resolve to face the perils of the world above. Yeah, I mean, that fear must get worse as you get older, I imagine. Because when you're young, you know, unless something terrible happens, you are very far away from ever having to really consider the end of your life. And then slowly as you get older, it starts to creep in a little bit. Rise is now the evening star, counterweight to Hail Desire. Feel the old year's clutching toll, mark the banking of the fire. Because, yeah, I don't know, I've certainly had the thought, like, I'm like, huh. I'm roughly, you know, average human lifespan and all that. I'm about a third through my life right now, and it's like...
You call Manfred...
That's
Fred?
A weird thought to have.
Sure. He walked into my office. I said, Fred, can I call you Fred? He nodded. Seemed happy about it. If he doesn't like it...
Oh, Manfred doesn't mind. He quite likes you. Does the diminutive imply a certain level of comfort with the necromantic arts?
It shows a certain level of comfort with your friend. The rest of it, well, that depends.
On what?
On what the mage using it is up to.
I wonder if there'll be a bunch of banter that a lot of players haven't heard because they don't bring companions that can't combo off each other. So maybe there's a bunch of Emmerich and Nev banter we'll hear that you guys have not or something, potentially. That'd be cool. But yeah, it's like, I'm about a third through my life right now, and it's like, huh, that's like, I don't know. Time moved pretty slowly when I was little, and then these days, I blink and a year goes by. And then I blink again, and another one goes by, and it's like, man. And especially because, like, when you get to the last third, and you start getting, like, fucking frail and shit, and it's just like, oh, God. So it's like, have I only got one good third left? I don't know. Sometimes that thought pops into my head, and so I kind of get where he's coming from. It's not like some fucking crippling fear that I have in the way that it sounds like he feels it, but, it, you know, I can get where he's coming from, at least. From death we rise. Anyway, yeah, really good one. I really, really liked that. I really, really like Emmerich, and good stuff. So, at last, meet Morrigan at the Cobbled Swan. Finally, Morrigan content. So, Sinmin Rathus, isn't it? Yep. Off we trot. And then off we double trot. She's down here. Could I not get here before? I think this is the one. There was like an explodey pot or something that I found that I needed to have someone, and we do in fact have them now. So
Dogtown's never short on nightlife, is it?
It's when the streets are most alive. And when I'm likely working.
There's something about the odd hours of the night, isn't there? We have spirits in the necropolis who do strange things at the strangest hours.
right. Right, that one Nev can do.
Sure thing.
And then this one was what I couldn't do before.
I've a question for you about Mithras, Nev.
Do you?
I've heard its mage circles are the strongest in Tevinter.
So they claim.
One does hear things, boasts about particular methods and so on.
Funny. We hear the same about Navarra.
Okay, so that's 2, but then there's still a third.
Here goes nothing.
Oh. What? Freezing both of those just raises the third one on its own? Okay. You were talking about this place. It went under, no surprise. The only thing on the menu was sausage sauced with nut butter. Stuffed into a bun. Oh, that's some phrasing right there. The buns were all right, I suppose. Love to stuff nut butter into a nice round bun. That's great. My favourite, in fact. That is a choice of words. Abominations in Tevinter. Why do Tevinter mages seem less prone to demonic possession than those in the south? First of all, our mages are not immune to possession, and it does happen, as it does everywhere. But yes, abominations seem to show less frequently. This is not a question of talent, as some may believe. The difference is one of acceptance and education. Here a mage child is celebrated. Their magic is a gift, and they are taught with objectivity how to use it. They're shown possibilities, not just pitfalls. In my time in the south, I've seen how your mages are treated. You cage them, with Templars, with walls, but most of all with shame. They learn to hate and fear everything that they are. When they are told that every spell they cast may open them to possession, every magical action becomes fraught. Is it any surprise, then, that magic becomes what they believe it to be, their downfall? Correspondence between Magister Dorian Pavus and Divine Victoria of Val Royeaux. And of course, they get around the fact that they haven't bothered to fucking ask who the Divine is by the fact that the Divine is always called Victoria. Which, but we know, I guess, that he was talking to Leliana there. It was whispers in the fog, only that. But then it was a voice, and an offer. I know what spoke. After everything that's happened, how could I say no? I won't write again, so take care.
Whispers, offers. Someone made a deal with a demon.
Oh, fuck. Snake's Eye +8. No, thank you. Alrighty, cool. Got that one off the list, and so it is time for Morrigan. Oh, hello.
Now a dragon. Some people
Shades of the Blight. The team pursues leads that reveal disturbing information about the spread of the Blight, but also gains some unexpected aid.
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Oh, yeah?
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Oh my god.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served
my
the
god.
Inquisition?
I was not expecting that right now.
This is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
I was not expecting that right now. I was just like... I was just shocked. I was like, I can't... This, now? Really? Just out of the blue? Okay. Okay. That's sick. I did not see that coming. Oh, nice. We get a special fucking elf thing. I greet you.
Andaran Artishan. Anathara. I wish we could be meeting without our gods threatening to blight the world.
A blight that spreads wider with each passing heartbeat.
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganan and Gillenane.
I miss you, Inky. This is on you, bruh. You can count on me.
I won't let you down. Don't worry about me. Worry about the people you've recruited and about the people depending on you. I only sealed the breach because I had people like Cassandra, Leliana, and Cullen with me from the start. Without Dorian's magic and Josephine's diplomacy, we never would have come together to stop Corypheus. Years later, I had to disband the Inquisition, but I never lost the friends who had gotten me through it all. Ultimately, they're the only ones you can really count on. Do right by them, and you'll find your way.
True.
We've got the makings of a good team, I think. We'll do our best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
Oh?
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
Jesus, okay. How are you here? Tell me more about the South.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the south?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Valrorio and Halam Shiral are barely holding out.
Yeesh.
Ferelden would have fallen already, if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marchers have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker, we didn't know. My ma...
Don't worry. I called in a favor with the Divine. Your mother's safe with some old friends.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might be gone, but my name still carries some weight.
I mean, I'd fucking hope
I've
so.
used it to get people working together where they can. Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the Blight.
Cool. I really like that. It's like, yeah, she's taking an active role in, like, fighting against this thing and saving people, and I assume she's not going to be in this game that much, but the fact that they're being very clear here that, like, there's a shitload going down in the South, and she is at the forefront of the efforts to stop it. It's not just that, like, oh yeah, you know, just kind of sat on her ass doing nothing. Where's the Warden again? Where's your Dragon Age Origins character again? Where's Hawk? I'm glad the Inquisitor is actually fucking getting shit done. How are you here?
If the south is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's vir of us, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
Okay, let's go with I need your connections.
I've been having trouble getting people in authority to listen to us. If you help with some of your political strength...
My political strength? Tevinter hates me. The Venatori helped make sure of that. And while I have a few friends in the Wardens, their leadership hasn't much cared for me since we clashed at Adamant Fortress.
Right.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight.
Oh, this is for the other
into
quest.
your new
Right.
ally.
This is the one that... Okay, so the Inquisitor was the one that we needed to wait for. That's fun. Solus is helping.
Right now, Solus is giving us the information we need to track down the gods.
Yes, he is a vital source of information and advice, just as he was to the Inquisition before. He is the Dreadwolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries. How many alliances do you think he has made and broken?
Solus was important to me. If this statuette helps you understand him, if it uncovers something that... Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. But this feels like a part of him. And whatever he and I once were, I think... I hope... it might help you.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
Cool. Very cool.
We should take a break. Head back to the lighthouse for a bit.
A change on the wind. Okay, so rumors reach the team of a new darkspawn threat that's returned to the lighthouse, but we can now do this, right? Regrets of the Dreadwolf, we can now investigate it in the lighthouse, so let's do that first, I think. We also have some new library bits and bobs. The Visitation of Folktale. Here's a copy of that Navaran folktale you were interested in, Balara. I heard this around the fire a few times as a child. Many ages ago, there was a spirit that longed to see the world where people dwelled. Others of its kind warned that it would find no welcome, but the determined spirit set out to see what it could see. It first visited a kingdom in the south, where it found people grieving by a pyre. They cried out, "We know you, thief of life, of bodies, of peace." They hid themselves, and receiving no welcome, the spirit left. Next, it visited a kingdom in the north, where it found people grieving by a flaming beer? Beer? I don't know what that is. They cried out, "We know you, destroyer of fortune, of fame, of livestock and servants." They cast it out with magic, and the spirit left. Then it visited a kingdom in the middle of the Middle Lands, and found people grieving by a grave. When they saw the spirit, they cried out, "We know you, bringer of knowledge, helpmeet to our dead." And they held it a banquet, and had it stay the night. The spirit returned to its brethren and told them of its warm welcome in the Middle Kingdom, so more visited, and the Middle Kingdom honoured the spirits by inviting them into their dead. With the spirits' help, the kingdom prospered. This is how it was told in the old days, and we remember it still. And from Mirna on Rediscovering the Gardens. Dear Professor Volkarin, thank you for your missive. Your discovery of the new location of the Memorial Gardens is most fortunate. We feared the next public days of mourning would have to be held adjacent to the charnel pyramids, which remain disagreeably cursed. Very disagreeable. I've recommended they undergo a lustration before next equinox. I regret to inform you that a portion of the basalt hypogeum has vanished. Its disappearance was more violent than the typical reshuffling of the necropolis. We will send word if it returns. Cool. And some miscellaneous... Aha! A letter to Dorian. Sparkler. Wait, who's calling Dorian Sparkler? Who's this from? Oh, it's from Varric. I don't remember. Does Varric call Dorian Sparkler? Is that new? That's not ringing a bell, but sure. Thanks for the book recommendations. The library in the Viscount's Keep could use a little more class. Kirkwall has been calmer since I got back from my trip to see old friends in Orlais. The end of the Inquisition flooded the free marches with able-bodied ex-soldiers looking for work and warmer weather. Suddenly, I have more hands than I have shit to fix or things to fight. It's a good problem to have. Of course, a third of them are still secretly work for the Charter, but I'll put up with it. Some of the spies are better craftsmen than the craftsmen. Liliana always did have an eye for talent. Give May my love, would you? It'll be a while before I can make a trip to Minrathous again, and she's the only family I've got left that I'm still speaking to. Nice. Was there anything else, or was that just the one? That was just the one. Cool. Anyone got any skill points? Nev, you got any skill points? No, you just have a new thing there. And I have a ton of stuff. Please get out of my inventory. Wait, I missed one. I guess at some point I should go through and sell all this shit. Because, man, that's a lot of stuff. What was this one? Blast ability damage. Blast abilities gain added damage from shocking weapons is quite nice. Wait, did I still miss one? What? Oh. God, I wish there was just a fucking mark all as seen button. Okay, there we go. Wait, I missed a helmet. There we go. Okay. Where am I going? Crossroads. No, Lighthouse. Yes. Oh, Lighthouse. What have you got for me?
Rook, just got word. First Warden's calling everyone back to Weishaupt. Everyone except me, seems like.
Oh.
Guess the First Warden didn't like me joining your team.
Banter.
Calling wardens back from all over Thedas is a big step. Did he give any reason why?
Not exactly, but I've heard rumors of a massive Darkspawn horde on the move.
Oh.
Even hearing there's an archdemon with them.
Oh. Well, I mean, if you've heard that, then they must have already heard that, so we don't need to warn them, because that's the whole reason that they're massing together, I guess? So it has to be the gods. Well, how far out? He knows it has to be the gods.
How long do we have?
A day, a week? Darkspawn are charging through the deep roads. Makes it hard to get an accurate idea of where they are. Rook, if the gods have an archdemon, Warden lore says archdemons only show up during a blight. Doesn't say anything about elven gods. Seems like the rules have changed, and we're going in blind.
There's only 2 archdemons left, right?
I'll talk to Solus. See if he knows anything about any of this. Make sure the others are ready to move.
Quest acquired, the Siege of Weishaupt. Message from the front, the fight for the south. Hey, it's got a little Inquisition symbol. Rook, though the circumstances prompting our meeting were perhaps not what either of us would have chosen, I'm glad we did meet. I've heard of you from Varric, of course, and Harding spoke, and continues to speak, highly of you. However, the greatest vote of confidence came from Morrigan. She's always had a knack for spotting those who might shift the foundations of the world, even if they don't know it yet. So it was she who suggested we meet, and as always, heeding her counsel proved to be the wisest decision. Unfortunately, I send grim tidings. The echoes of Solus's ritual and the escape of the gods ring across the south, and the smell of war is heavy in the air. In Orlais, a splinter faction of the nobility has made common cause with the Venatori, and launched an assault on both the royal forces of Orlais and the border keeps of Ferelden. Antarm corsairs harass shipping out of Ostwick, and in the far southern wilds, Blight has emerged once more. Darkspawn in great numbers have been spotted near the ruins of Ostagar. But I told you to leave the south to me, and I stand by that. I shared this news not to ask for help, but to remind you that you and your people are not alone. The gods stir up the greatest evils in Thedas, yet its people stand stalwart and resolute. Take care of the gods in the north, and I'll make sure that the south handles itself. And when this is all over, we'll drink to victory. First round's on me. Yours, the Inquisitor. Cool. Love that. Right. So... Oh, talk to Solus is the next fucking quest step. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Although, actually, we're doing the other thing first, aren't we? We will be talking to Solus soon, but first of all, where are we going for this? Oh, also, fucking everyone has stuff to talk about, apparently, so we'll do that as well. Okay, let's do that first, I guess, because like some of them are on timers, so I don't know if that's going to disappear if we do this quest thing first. It might do, so let's not risk it. Let's have a yap.
With all my regards, but I don't want them to think me homesick.
Hi, Emric.
Rook, hello. Just composing a few letters. The other Watchers have been most interested in our adventures.
What have we got? tell me about the necropolis. Are watchers also mortalitasi?
So, I've heard people call necromancers mortalitasi. What's the difference between them and the Mornwatch?
Oh, all Navaran necromancers are mortalitasi. The Watchers are a special order within them.
Very fancy.
We've certain privileges and attendant responsibilities.
And what kind of responsibilities?
What's the Mornwatch do?
Our first duty is safekeeping the Grand Necropolis and preparing the funerary dead. Another is stopping misuse of dark magic and necromancy.
Must keep you busy.
Not often, but on occasion.
And tell me about the necropolis.
What's the Grand Necropolis like?
Its majesty has stilled the tongues of kings and queens. It's a haven for spirits and the dead, a vast well of history, the duty and shelter of every watcher. We who serve it are pledged to an eternal vigil.
Vigil? Against what?
What do Watchers, watch for?
There are stranger and more dangerous things than spirits in the
Stranger
Fade
danger.
Rook. The Watchers stand against them when their shadows rise.
Anything lately?
A few portents I cannot put down solely to the chaos of the elven gods, but nothing definitive. Perhaps only shivers in the void.
Okay. You mentioned homesickness?
I couldn't help overhearing the word homesick.
Oh, I'm fine. Completely absorbed in our venture. But if I were home, I'd be preparing for new students or requests to speak to the dead.
Corpse whispering requests?
Can people just ask you to show up for some corpse whispering?
Oh, nothing official. There are very few of us, but we help here and there. Questioning a victim of murder, clearing up disputed wills, and sometimes fetching back last words from a loved one.
Aw. And that's not your whole job?
You can get anything out of the dead and they just let you leave Navarra?
My gift has limitations. The dead only know what they did in life. What was clear under the sun is sometimes blurred when I revive them.
Makes sense.
Honestly, some conversations aren't worth the trouble. Death encourages obstinacy.
Did you give up your classes?
You didn't stop teaching just to be with us, did you?
I'm long overdue for a sabbatical. Besides, do you know how many students the faculty wanted in my class next season? 10! How's one meant to tailor separate lessons for 10 pupils at a time? Honestly.
I'll see you around.
Good to chat. I'll let you get back to your letter.
Before you go, I wanted to thank you for your company in the Memorial Gardens.
Very welcome. It was
There's
nice.
another ceremony I have to perform there. If you'd like to visit again. Not yet, but soon.
Sure. I want to say I enjoy your company, but like in a friend way. Because I don't want to go down his romance path, but it would be nice. That doesn't have to be a romantic thing. I enjoy plenty of people's company completely platonically, so... But sure just sounds like... I don't know. I want him to know that I enjoy his company, I just don't want it to be a fucking heart thing. I guess we'll just say sure and I get missing home?
Sounds good. Sometimes I miss home too.
Rook, I'm not... well... perhaps a little.
Bro's
You'll
homesick.
cheer up once we look at some graves, I bet.
The ceremony should be most centering. I'll let you know when it's time.
The Great Passage. How strange to wake up and realise I've no lessons to plan. My last batch of pupils were well set, or so I pray, when classes ended. Edwina and Lorimer sent letters. How flattering to be remembered by one's former students. Ensconced in the lighthouse, I can't help but think of the first question so many of them ask. If it's true that for every person who dies, a spirit must enter the mortal world in return... Oh, that's just the end of the sentence. If it's true that for every person who dies, a spirit must enter the mortal world in return. It often surprises them to learn that this idea is purely Navaran. Summoning a benign spirit to answer this question is one of my favourite practical demonstrations, and such a treat for the novices. The line of inquiry students swiftly learn is impossible. The majority of spirits have difficulty grasping the very concept of quantities, let alone numbers. No one, mortal or otherwise, appears to know how to tally both the people in the world and spirits in the Fade. Yet I cannot dismiss the idea that there might be some unknowable exchange of Fade-born spirit and human soul. This folklore is entwined with the very founding of Navara. And if I have learned anything here, it is that the Fade is stranger than even we of the Necropolis have imagined. Oh, there's more. This one. Emmerich's Diary, Forbidden Books. I've been asked to weigh in again on texts being considered for our list of tomes and scrolls forbidden. I didn't think it was that time of year already. Well, let us see what lies in the list. The Setting of the Light by Lumiere Bartlett. One new page reportedly discovered. Goodness knows how many of the artists have rediscovered lost pages of Bartlett's play. Still, if it has any connection with The Last King, best we move carefully. I'll recommend we lock away the page until we can determine its provenance. The Magic of Crimson Serpents, Anonymous. A poisonously simple guide to blood magic, to Vinter's favourite forbidden practice. Poor Nev, what she must combat weekly. Let the book remain open to senior watchers, but only for the purposes of teaching detection and defence against blood magic. Nethes, Anonymous, inscribed on stone tablets. I've omitted the full title, of course. I'd give much to track down the malign spirit whispering these dictations. This would be the 5th copy we found, banned lest it spread, and I'm afraid we might consider whether destroying the tablets might lure out their true author. The Randy Dowager. Now this is ridiculous. The Morn Watch works with the dead. We have no business forbidding the harmless vices of the living, and I question whoever brought it up for consideration in the first place. Nice. Alrighty, so, who next? We've got a Tash one, we've got a Harding one. Are these quests? Are these new side quests? Are these, I can't remember, because we've got, like, the timer. The timer symbol is just a chat that will go away if we leave or do something else. But then I can't remember what the difference is between, like, speech bubble exclamation marks and non-speech bubble exclamation marks. And then there's also the, like, scenes with a couple of people together. But if these are new side quests, then I guess we won't be going to speak to Solus quite yet. Wait, that's... Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, okay. Not yet. Wait, that's Varric. Oh, well, let's see if Bro has anything to say.
Rook, could you check on Harding? She's doing that terrifyingly cheery thing she does.
Sure. Tash, what is up?
Hey, glad you stopped by. I was gonna grab drinks with the Lords of Fortune at the Hilt. Come along if you want. Get to know the Lords.
Sounds good.
Quest acquired, Dragon class. Is that an outing? I imagine that is an outing. Conversation. Sure. That'll be a quick one then. I think conversations are quick, right? And then outings are a bit longer. And we had one for Harding.
Any luck tracking down your mystery friend?
The Shaper didn't like me asking about Shaper Valta. Or harassing people with talk of dwarven magic.
Should have done more than talk.
Wish we had time to head down there and show them what you can do.
I don't think that would have helped.
But think how satisfying it would be.
Yeah. What's satisfying about being thrown in a Deep Roads prison? Orzammar takes its heritage very seriously.
Very.
So, what now?
I was thinking, the voice said look to those closest to the stone. What if she never meant Orzammar?
Eh?
There is another great Tig, the original capital of the dwarves, Kalsharak. It was lost during the first Blight, and its people survived in isolation for hundreds of years.
Indeed.
They re-emerged, some 20 years ago?
And you think they're close to the stone?
Orzammar can't help. What have I got to lose?
Let's talk about... Why? Talk bout? Does she say bout? Or is that just they forgot to put an A on there? Let's talk bout Kalsharak.
I'm curious about Kalsharak's
I mean, she says about, so I guess that was just a typo.
The dwarves took heavy losses during the first Blight. To stop the Darkspawn from overrunning them, they closed off passages in the deep roads. Those that could retreated to Orzammar. Kalsharak was lost. They abandoned the city and its people, sealed them away with the Darkspawn.
It's kind of a no-choice situation. They were getting overrun.
They had to. Lose a Tig or lose everyone.
Children, families. It's unforgivable.
Sometimes people have to do unforgivable things.
You've heard, haven't you, that the Kalsharak dwarves were forced to change in order to survive. No one's really sure what that means exactly.
When we find them, you can ask.
Cool. What if Orzammar's lying?
Are you sure Orzammar isn't hiding something?
Pressing them for information would be tricky. I could anger someone important. If Kalsharak doesn't turn out, I can go back to poking at Orzammar. But not before then.
Alright, what do we do?
How do we get in touch with these Kalsharak dwarves?
Already working on it. You don't spend 10 years in the Inquisition without making contacts. I should have a meeting set up by the time we're ready to leave.
Cool. Looking forward to that one. The Waiting Stone. And what kind of companion mission is that? That is a full-on quest. Okay, cool. That's going to be a big one then. Very cool, very cool. Okay, now was it Nev was next? How's it going, Bay?
You seem at home here. Or is it a front? You know something I don't? So much for a straight answer.
Nev, you don't strike me as an animal person. Well, besides cats, maybe.
Oh, I'm not. Back home, you find a creature bigger than a cat, and it's probably half demonic. Damned if a third of the cats aren't either.
I've met a few demons.
I met a possessed cat once. Not the worst demon I've run into, but...
They can still shake up your day.
Pretty much. And the claws.
Cat claws can be vicious.
It sounds much friendlier. And makes fewer bargains.
I love me some cats, but they can be pretty vicious.
You're what's strange.
Asan? Really?
There's been a god or two I didn't expect. But bad mages trying to make the world worse, that's not new. I had an uncle who went on about wardens and griffins. Loved the feathered things. They were always the heroes. If we're getting bedtime stories turned real, having griffins in the world again, it's not the one I'd have bet on.
Tell me about your uncle.
Were you close with your uncle?
I didn't see him much, but yeah, we were. There aren't a lot of mages in my family, and in a city like Minrathous, it always matters. I learned quick who wanted to use me to step up the social ladder. My uncle wasn't one of them. He'd have talked your ear right off, Asan.
Okay, well, we know what we're clicking. You're cute with Asan.
You know, you're sweet with him.
Aren't I always?
Yes.
I walked into that.
Sing your praises and you still want something? I'll find you a treat if you don't tell Davrin. Have we got a deal?
Between us, I like Nev.
Hey, Hassan. Between you and me, I think I like her a lot. Yeah.
Listen up. If Davrin finds crumbs, Rook takes the fall.
Falling on it.
They'd make a good couple, I think.
I could use some action. Let me know if I can help.
Sure. Well, I mean, if we're gonna end up going to Weishaupt, then I guess I'll bring you along there, because that's sort of your area of expertise.
An underwater prison? That's still pretty amazing.
Amazing? I suppose it is. Do you think the elves made it? It didn't seem Tevinter.
I think so. I wonder what it was built for. Originally, I mean.
Whatever it was meant for, it's a bit of misery now.
Right.
Sag. Cool, okay. That was everything, I believe. So. Oh, wait, we've got more library stuff? I never noticed this appear. Nev's case notes, missing Xena. A pair of letters found among Nev's case notes. The first is written on a scrap with the letters bent to fit. Dear Nev Galos, I have a job for you. Meet me by the starring statue. I'll be there every day this week. From Liv. Second letter is written on a larger piece of paper and has a number of illustrations. Dear Nev Galos, I wanted you to know I did what you said and gave Xena extra ear scratches. She wagged her tail a lot. She says thank you for finding her. From Liv. Below are drawings of a girl, a dog, the moon, a rain cloud, 3 boats, a spiral that might represent magic, and a very tall person who might be Nev. Nice. Wait, no, I need to go to my journal. So... let's go with Tush's one first, because this is the shorter one, it sounds like. A visit to the Lords of Fortune bar lets Tush show off her dragon knowledge. Lords of Fortune, here we come.